Towards the end of primary school, Leah was spending more and more time in her room, and that did make me a bit uneasy, although I just put it down to her growing up. But one day I walked into her room and there she was, with blood all over her leg. She just scratched herself with a drawing pin. I just completely freaked out. Hello, ambulance now, help! Yes, okay, I overreacted. Leah, I'm sorry that wasn't helpful, but please don't hurt yourself, that's crazy. Yes, I know, I said all the wrong things, but I just didn't know what to do. She came out eventually and told me I was making a big fuss about nothing, it was just a scratch. Well, that was the beginning of a steep learning curve. There's so much advice online. I needed help. I went and spoke to Leah's class teacher, who suggested I speak to the GP. The GP advised me to focus on what was upsetting Leah rather than on the hurting herself bit. So the first step was to have a proper conversation with Leah, and not in her bedroom. I knew to stay away from the scratching incident, so I kicked off with, "So, how you doing, honey? Seems like there's quite a lot going on for you right now. I'm totally here if you want to talk about it." It took a while, but eventually it all came out. Worries about secondary school, about tests, about friends, about not being pretty enough. Leah, you really are having a horrible time. Listen, everyone feels like that sometimes. Let's start thinking about how to help you feel better about yourself. It was so hard to hear how distressed she was. It was even harder to hear she'd found out scratching her skin made her feel better. But I knew I had to stay focused on helping her with what she was distressed about, rather than trying to stop her hurting herself. She had to find her own better ways to feel better. It was trial and error. She had to try a few things, and it was hard at times. She got there in the end. Remember, stress and anxiety are normal and necessary parts of life, and everyone has to find their own ways of managing them. And when things get too tough, get support for yourself too.